November 23rd, 1941. Back in September, a joint Anglo-Soviet invasion led the Allied and Soviet armies into Iran to prevent the current government from joining the Axis and therefore opening a new and dangerous front for both the Allies and the Soviet Union. This week, the operation is finally concluded, and I want to highlight this because this allows the Red Army to transfer 8 divisions from the Transcaucasus to the Eastern Front. And it is very likely that these troops will take part as well in the winter counteroffensive. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new weekly episode of War in the East 2, the online game challenge. And a new episode this time around brings a new bug. And let's quickly have a look at the situation overall, and then let's focus on this annoying bug. Iran is secure, great, it's amazing. Success of the late summer invasion of Iran by the British and Soviets allows forces to be deployed from the Transcaucasus, and we have Soviet partisans as well. But as I mentioned, I would say months ago, before beginning this challenge, I mentioned that in the many combat units of both Soviet and Axis are now locked into the specific theater boxes. So yes, I have this AA and artillery battalions, and regiments, but I will let them arrive in the reserve theater box when the turn will be scheduled. Yes, as you can see, this is what makes this challenge more challenging and more LARPing, so to speak. And I guess that the closest, okay, turn 20. Oh, next week. Oh, look at that. Okay, not this one, but. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. So we have 1, 2, well, I mean, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have other units down here. 4, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 between mountain and rifle divisions arriving on the map next week, just from the Transcaucasus. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, yeah, great, awesome. Still, besides that, yeah, the bug. So when I looked again at the rename tab, I found that the 73rd Rifle Division now has been renamed the 5th Guards Rifle Division. And I was like, wait a minute, I already have a 5th Guards Rifle Division, which was in the ranks of the Bryansk front. But then, when I looked at this unit, now this unit is the 111th Guards Rifle Division. And I was really confused at the beginning. I went back into the original scenario in the editor, and interestingly I found that the 111th was the first number available for all of the guard units. And the funny thing is that this change in name has not been reported here. But what is even more interesting is that the 73rd Rifle Division was scheduled to be disbanded on turn 28. And so I was like, well, if the 73rd is now in the reserve theater box, I should find in the reserve theater box the 5th Guards Rifle Division. And so when I went into the reserve theater box, well, this is, oh my god, why is it not scrolling? Oh god. That's why I hate this window. Oh my god, it's so annoying, sorry. Commander's report, theater box, Soviet reserves, just rifle divisions, and if I now click on guards, there is no 5th Guards Rifle Division. And what is even more interesting is that when I look at the losses and at the destroyed units, here it is. The 5th Guards Rifle Division has been disbanded. So it was in the reserve theater boxes, but then this turn it has been disbanded. And even more concerning for me, where is in the withdraw, like, it's not listed. So what the hell just happened? I don't know. I have no idea. And I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I will have to wait now for the historical 5th Guards Rifle Division to arrive in the reserve. What have we here? 10th Army Commander Konstantin Golubev is dismissed. Mikhail Parsegov. Parsegov wasn't the guy who led the 40th Army in 1942? No, maybe I'm wrong. Where is the 10th? Oh yeah, is this guy over here? I mean, he's horrible. Golubev, I think it was. Where is Golubev? I don't. They're listed by rank. Oh god, I lost him. Golubev. It's not here. Lieutenant General Golubev. Where is the guy? But he's still like in the Golubev. I mean, 61 defeats the guy has accumulated. I mean, okay, makes sense. Anyway, Parsegov, yeah, he can stay here for now, but I think he will be changed with someone slightly better than him. Turn summary, what do we have? We have a massive arrival of reinforcements on the map from the Soviets, and again, the constant decline of the Axis forces. Let's have a look at the overall... nope. Men on the map. Ooh, finally! Finally, I have more men on the map compared to the Axis forces. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Finally. And the manpower pool... Okay. Slightly lower increase, and also a bit of a slight increase concerning the one of the Axis. Okay, that's interesting, but still, I like this trend. I really like this trend. And yeah, so again, it's another boring week because there is no that much of an action going on this week. I still have to carry on the preparations for the counteroffensive, and interestingly, I also I realized one thing while looking at the situation on the map. I do have one additional HQ that, let's say, can be used to attach armies around Moscow, and this HQ is the Moscow Military District. I know that technically and strictly speaking, the Moscow Military District was responsible for the units defending Moscow. And it was mainly the Western Front and the Kalinin Front, the ones that launched the counteroffensive in late 1941. But because, you know, there are no in-house rules in this campaign, I think I will do something that might surprise my opponent, which is to reassign the first shock. Oh, the first shock army. I think that this was the 19th army, right? Yeah. Also, I don't know if the shock army has some boni in terms of chance of passing leader roles. I don't know. But I will assign the first shock army and the 34th army to the Moscow Military District. Hopefully they still have enough. Yes. Enough space for 2 more divisions that will be sent to the first shock army over here. And yeah, this in turn allows me to reinforce the Kalinin front with quite a few divisions, as well as the Western front. And yes, I really want to focus all of my attentions over here with the Western and with the Kalinin front. Again, I have plans for the counteroffensive, but to avoid my opponent from learning of those plans, I have to play with some maskirovka, as the Soviets were calling it. And yeah, so this week again, as I said, the preparations for the counteroffensive are being carried on, and yeah, there is not too much that needs to be discussed. We had a look at the losses. I mean, yes, we have a look at the ground losses. Okay, 18,000, 9,000. Again, the losses are now getting higher and higher for the Axis compared to the ones of the Soviets. So yeah, that's all basically for this week. I will also reinforce the Kerch Peninsula because I fear that either the 11th Army is marching northwards or is marching eastwards. And actually, yes, since I'm here in the Transcaucasus area, there is one thing that I want to try out. And this thing is, okay, this one will be disbanded, this one as well. I want to try to launch an amphibious invasion. And the most obvious target of an amphibious invasion is either Feodosia or this X over here. So why am I talking so quietly? I was afraid I was afraid of my opponent listening to me. But yeah, so also I never tried to launch amphibious invasions, so let's call this also like a tutorial on how to do and how not to do amphibious invasions. Yeah, let's try this out in this quick introduction. That's the okay, so that's the hex, and if I reassign to the black amphibious, there is nothing here. If I move the coastal army over here, and these guys, yes, they can. I don't know really. I'm just improvising on the spot. Assign support units. Okay, I can attach support units. No leader assigned. I cannot attach any leader here. But if I send these units on a port, can they take part in an amphibious invasion? I need to go back to the manual and see. No. And see what this number means. I really apologize for that. But yeah, so let's assign these to the 51st Army, and let's put it into the fortress. Since I'm here, let's change Batov with someone with a decent morale, but not too high, like Budionni. No, Budionni, no. Meg. Yeah, this. Yeah, 4 of initiative. Let me check the initiative. Vasily Popov. Someone decent also in infantry value. Belov. Yes, this guy. And let's reassign the fortress to the 51st Army. Yeah, let's see. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so as I said, it's time to carry on the preparations of the counteroffensive. I will slowly but surely concentrate as many forces as possible in the area of the western Kalinin and the Bryansk fronts, for reasons that you will see maybe in 2-3 3 weeks. Alright, enough talking, let's jump straight into the episode. Alright folks, so despite this episode being kind of boring because there is nothing going on, yeah, this episode is still a bit longer than usual because as always I was busy in messing around with the reserves, with the units, with the commander's report and so on and so forth. So I would say there is at this stage of the campaign, of the I wouldn't call it the winter offensive, but the winter actually at this stage of the preparations of the winter counteroffensive, there is pretty much nothing that I can tell you that is meaningful and that adds something extra in this episode. I've been and I am still preparing my troops for the counteroffensive. The units arriving from the Transcaucasus will not take part immediately in the counteroffensive, but maybe they will take part at some point. I don't know. I still have, let's say, some big plans, very ambitious plans, and I mean, I could talk about this, but of course, you know, I will be an idiot to talk openly about my plans, because you never know if some spies, some German spies, are listening to me and reporting to my friend, to my opponent, and so no, the plans are a secret, and you will see when the time will come to push the Germans back to Berlin, and the war will be over for Christmas. I didn't say this Christmas, the Christmas of 1941, but you know, maybe the Christmas of 1943 or 1944. Who knows? Who knows? And I'll say enough spoilering, enough commenting, and I leave you to the rest of the episode, folks. It will be maybe a bit boring, so I hope you will enjoy the compilation of Soviet military marches. And folks, as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and well, I'll see you all again in the next episode.